All right. Starting October 5th, I'm going to attempt to walk from Austin to Houston through San Antonio, 327 miles, to raise awareness about type 2 diabetes and how a low-carb, high-fat diet can be used to reverse this condition. Can a person walk 327 miles?
Yeah.
There are people that have done that. There are people actually have done more than that. The question is, can I walk 327 miles? And that is a question as of yet to be answered. One of the things is that people that usually do stuff like this are trained athletes, elite athletes. And I have the unique angle of being a guy that just has a job in an office. And I'm just going to go out and give it a shot. One of the reasons I'm trying to do this is to demonstrate that a regular person can go under extreme physical endurance for long periods of time with low levels of carbohydrates. So I'm going to be fueled mostly on fat and carbohydrates during this entire journey.
Mostly on fat, but not on carbohydrates.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Fat and protein. Protein to spare my muscle. So anyway, back to why again. Why would I do this? Well, I want to raise awareness about low-carb, high-fat diets and how they can be used to treat many metabolic diseases. I'm focusing primarily on type 2 diabetes because I think that's kind of the low-hanging fruit in this world of what can be healed by low-carb, high-fat. It's also personally impacted me in that I had type 2 diabetes. My mother passed away from type 2 diabetes, and my stepfather has type 2 diabetes. I know many people with type 2 diabetes. $327 billion equals 327 miles. That's the latest study that shows what the direct medical and lost productivity cost of type 2 diabetes alone will be in 2018 for the United States. So that's why it's 327 miles. I just wanted to kind of tie it together with something.
It's a shameless promotion coming up.
Okay. Yeah.
Very shameless promotion. But you know, just some more of the stats. Texas is home to 6 of the fattest metro areas in the United States. There are about 3 million Texans with diabetes, and probably about 1 in 4 of those do not know it yet. You had this in your presentation, but some estimates show that about a little over half of the entire population is insulin resistant and will probably develop diabetes or some other illness due to insulin resistance at some point in their life. And Texas, specifically Houston, has the dubious honor of, in 2015, we had the first 3-year-old child who was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And for some comparison, a few decades ago, type 2 diabetes was referred to as adult onset diabetes. Generally didn't happen in people under the age of 40 or so. Okay, shameless promotion time. So, I wish it wasn't in blue, but lowcarbhouston.com, still a great deal at $225 if you didn't get a chance to get in on the $100 or $150 tickets. I've got the agenda here if you want to look through it. I looked through it and really I couldn't find a single presentation that I would skip. Every one of them is really just a fascinating topic, and I think it's going to be a fantastic conference. I've been to a few of them, not that many, but of all the conferences I've been to, I really like this one. Some of the things I'm promoting along with this walk are Nutrition Coalition. I encourage you to go check them out. They don't have any particular diet that they're promoting, but what they are promoting is that the dietary guidelines for the U.S. should be based on scientific research, which they are not currently right now. And this is important because this trickles down to all the programs that are tax supported. So right now, we all know what the dietary guidelines are, and that guides what your farm bill has, what crops are subsidized, what the military and other government organizations are going to be feeding people, WIC program for people that need assistance with food.
That's the magic pill that promoted Nutrition Coalition also. Nina Teicholz did that in that.
Nina Teicholz.
Can you elaborate a little bit on the subsidies? Why are the subsidies bad for us?
Well, the subsidies right now are set up, and it's kind of a circular thing. Right now, two of the main things that are subsidized are soybeans and corn. And so since those are subsidized, those things are very cheap to produce. And since they're cheap to produce and farmers can make money on them, there's a lot of it on the market. So that's why if you look at everything, it's probably going to have a corn product in it, or it's going to have soybean oil. It might be called vegetable oil. And the corn may be some kind of maltodextrose or some other thing like that, but pretty much all the food that's packaged today will have some kind of corn product or soybean product in it. Neither of those things are particularly good for you, and since that is the cheap available food, it just perpetuates all the problems that we're having. Yeah.
Does Crisco donate to American Diabetic Association, do you think?
It does.
I would
And to AHA also.
Yes. I don't know.
One of the other organizations, and I'm a big fan of, the Charlie Foundation. It's a pretty neat story. Director Jim Abrams, who wrote and directed Airplane the movie, along with a bunch of other hits you probably heard about. His son had epilepsy. His son was on the doorstep of getting brain surgery to deal with his epilepsy, and Jim just happened upon this medical research that said, hey, you can track ketogenic diet. Long story short, he ended up doing a ketogenic diet. It stopped his son's epileptic seizures. I think he was having several hundred a day at the point that they were going to give him surgery. And now he is seizure-free, and he's a teacher, and there's a movie online called First Do No Harm that you can see on YouTube that goes into kind of the story of that. But they do a lot of outreach, education, teaching people how to use the ketogenic diet properly to deal with conditions like epilepsy and some cancers, and they've rebranded themselves ketogenic therapies because they're starting to branch out. Initially, they were just doing epilepsy, and now they're starting to branch out to other metabolic issues. And the last thing I'm promoting is Fat, a documentary. It's being done by Peter Pardini and Vinnie Tortorich, and their goal is to kind of expose all of the bad science that goes into all dietary information that you hear. And they're self-funding that. They're not getting they've specifically not accepted funding from any kind of organization because they don't want to have any perception of bias. And they did what they could to reach out to the vegan community to have people come on and discuss their side. They did get one vegan doctor that I know of. So they're trying to keep it as balanced as possible and just present the science of low carbohydrate diets and how they can benefit from that. And if you want to follow the adventure, ketogump.com. Oops, wrong way. I've got some more information about what I'm doing and why I'm doing this. And once this starts, I will have a link to a page which will have links to allow you to track me, my location where I'm at, and I'll have some updates and calendar stuff like that.
When will you be back in Houston?
Hopefully on the following Friday.
So 2 weeks?
So yeah, a little over 2 weeks. So
you will be in time for Low Carb Houston.
Definitely. Definitely be here for Low Carb Houston 2018. Catching the mega bus from Houston that morning, and I'll be starting walking about 11 o'clock next Friday.
You got good shoes?
I've got 3 pairs of good shoes.
Where are you going to find your food? Yeah. Like, how are you going to?
Well, the first day and a half I'm unsupported, so I'm going to have to stop. Generally, I'll be eating about a half a pound of ground beef a day and a half a pound to a pound of ribeye steak. and then a small salad, but that's mostly just a convenient way to eat a bunch of olive oil without just drinking it. Coffee, heavy cream, possibly some eggs.
You have something to do?
Well, the first day and a half and the last day and a half I'm going to be on my own, but in the middle 5 days my wife will be supporting me.
Okay.
So she's got a little gas stove.
Gas
She's
stove,
going to
that's
be cooking everything up and just bringing it to me out wherever I'm at.